Hello everyone. Welcome to the oral presentation prepared by Ayush Chopra. And today it will be on the topic Salmonella enterica, its growth conditions, influence on lettuce leaf internalization. So giving a brief introduction about what is internalization. Well, it's in process through which the materials is taken inside. That means it's a broader concept of endocytosis, but in this case we have taken lettuce leaves for stomatal internalization. There is a reason why we have opted for lettuce leaves is because it's mostly processed leaf in Canada. Many salads and seasonal dressings are being made by this leaf only. So it's an important concept to discuss about food mixing and food poisoning about the leaf itself. So coming on the broader term of stomatal internalization, it's a process in which the bacteria is attracted to stomata through the various chemicals released by the stomata. Therefore, it's a type of chemotaxis process mediated by chemicals. And the aim of the experiment was to test the ability of human pathogens on plants so that we can check their ability to grow and how they can produce themselves and how they poison our foods. So for this, we have taken Salmonella enterica, Servotypherium, as well as the result was compared to E. coli specimen. So moving towards the process. So firstly, there are many growth factors to be kept in mind. First of all, temperature, which should be 42 degrees Celsius. Actually, we can inoculate the samples in the range of 25 to 37 degrees centigrade, but it's not optimum for the growth for the salmonella because this is an anaerobic, facultative anaerobic microbe. So it takes much time to grow. So we generally increase the temperature so that it can grow more fast. So as I've earlier told that it's an facultative anaerobe. So anaerobic conditions generally enhance the process, and such we are coming to the point where we will be discussing about the salt concentration and pH change. So various stresses will be applied to check whether the salmonella penetrates into the stomatal cavity or not. So we are coming for the first process, the first step of our procedure, it's broth preparation. So there are particularly three types of broths to be prepared, and general abbreviation of each broth should be LB and LBN. Particularly talking about the LB broth, it's an Luria batani broth, which is prepared by mixing 10 gram of bactopeptone, 5 gram yeast extract, 10 gram of NaCl, which acts as a salt and a kind of stressor, and another 25% glycerol so that we can solidify the medium. Second type of broth generally used is LBNS, which is broth without NaCl, because we are checking the process of internalization depending on the salts. So in this, we have removed the stressor. And third process of our long procedure is of the lettuce preparation. So we take out the leaves and outer leaves are left. Innermost leaves are taken and cut into the pieces of 3 by 3 in millimeters. So our next process of the procedure will be to check and to prepare the specimens for culturing. So we take strains. For example, in this case, we will take Sarovar typherium for our studies. So we will firstly induce with them with M. fluorescin protein, which will, it's same the case like radioactivity. So the plasmids will penetrate to the bacteria and they will impart the color when we will observe under X-ray. So after that, we will keep the strains in the prepared broths. Noted to be kept in both the strains. For example, we are taking E. coli as well as Salmonella typherium. So we will keep one in the LB broth containing NaCl, and the other one will be in LB broth without NaCl. So total we will get 4 test tubes, one of E. coli with LBNS and non-LBNS, and Salmonella typherium with and without. So we will inoculate the tubes. We will streak the plates containing LB agar because LB agar is suitable for growth of Salmonella typherium as well as E. coli. Once we have streaked the plate, we will leave them overnight and at 37 degrees Celsius for 24 hours. That's the inoculation and incubation period. So after that, we will take the fresh colony out of the streak plates and suspend it in 10 ml of LB broth again. So this is a process of resuspension. And Again, we will leave it in the saline solution to check that NaCl penetrates in the bacteria or not, as the plasmids will functioning. So again, we will resuspend them and we will take out the broth and we will calculate our dilutions, but the colony forming unit should be 10 raised to power 8 this time. So this type of concentration will be used for further inoculations. So now coming to the procedure, when we have to internalize the lettuce leaf. So for this step, we will first of all prepare the leaf, which is called as leaf conditioning. We will submerge the leaf in 30 ml saline so that any external source of contamination can be removed. Then we will place them in high intensity light for 20 to 30 minutes for 20 degrees centigrade. Then the third process is our leaf processing, which is done by rinsing the leaves with 20 ml of saline solution and then placing it the suspension. Overnight suspension is left so that the bacteria as well as the leaves are free and can be observed. So as told that we will observe the bacteria under confocal laser scanning microscope. So coming out, this is the process we follow and coming towards the results. So firstly, we will check the growth of the bacteria by the temperature range, as 42 degrees centigrade as was set to be optimum growth temperature, and it can be observed from the figure A. So the growth of the bacteria is higher than 37 and 25 degrees centigrade. So these are the basic inoculation temperature we use. And that is why we are using standing culture. That means overnighting culture. We are not using any further cultures so that we can imagine the process more clearly and we can prepare our result sheets more precisely. So this is done. The graph shows that the incidence of internalization versus the growth medium. As I told you that we are using three kinds of media: LB broth without NaCl, with NaCl, and water diluted. So LB broth without NaCl has higher growth than the water diluted growth, and with NaCl has the less growth for bacteria. So we are finalizing and comparing the results in our next turn. So when comparing, we can observe that Salmonella typhimurium grows least in LB broth. That means it contains NaCl. The results can be attributed that Salmonella takes much more time to penetrate into the into the stomatal cavity of the leaves. So it's basically suggested that we should add NaCl to our foods. Coming further, that Salmonella compared to E. coli grows faster in both LB as well as LBNS broths. And why we have opted E. coli? Because E. coli is the common bacteria found on foods, and Salmonella typhimurium is being facultative anaerobe gram-negative bacteria grows more, and it is one of the most troubling pathogens in United States of America, because many cases have been reporting further where the Salmonella species have left to the poisoning. It's another strain causes typhoid fever. So it was great for the scientists to determine the growth of internalization on Salmonella. So the conclusions which we can draw about from this research is particularly about the growth. So less growth is observed in the broth containing NaCl as informed. So process of internalization of Salmonella is faster as compared to the E. coli. And the final conclusion is salt must be added while we process the foods, because that's why we have chosen Salmonella as well as lettuce leaves to check the growth. More readings, if you want to opt for to go further, you can observe the readings and you can watch videos on the preservation and physical property, the roles of sodium in foods, as well as the effect of temperature, pH, and sodium chloride concentration on the Salmonella enterica. It's both species, Enteritidis and Typhimurium, to be studied and to be reported. So main reference for this was only this article, which you can observe in the slide attached next to the video. So concluding our presentation, it's thank you and I'm taking leave. For any questions, you can contact and we can discuss of clarity further. So thank you very much and have a nice day.